Welcome back to the deep dive. So we've gone through the sources you sent on House Atreides, and wow, it's a deep, politically charged story.
It really is.
Our mission today is to cut through all that court intrigue and the sandstorms. We're diving into the crucible of Arrakis.
Yeah, we're looking at the political trap set for them, the whole agenda behind the spice melange, and how one young man's destiny was just forged in this fire.
Let's start with Arrakis itself. To an outsider, it looks beautiful in those pictures. You know, the sun sets over the dunes.
But that's a mask, right? Arrakis is fundamentally poison. It's an incredibly hostile world. The temperatures are brutal.
And the weather is basically a weapon.
Completely. You're talking about sandstorms that can literally slice through metal. It's a planet that feels like it's engineered to kill you if you haven't adapted.
And yet, in all that danger is the single most valuable thing in the universe.
The spice melange.
The entire imperial economy just hinges on it.
It absolutely does. For the native Fremen, spice is this sacred, life-extending thing. It's what gives them those blue eyes of Ibad.
But for the wider Imperium, it's the lifeline.
Exactly. Without spice, the Spacing Guild navigators can't fold space. All interstellar travel just stops. It is the ultimate choke point on power.
A choke point controlled for 80 years by the Harkonnens.
80 years of obscene wealth, they became richer than the Emperor himself.
Which brings us to the, let's say, the suspicious handover.
Yeah, all of a sudden there's this imperial decree from Shaddam IV, the Harkonnens are out, and House Atreides, their popular rival, is in.
And it's not done quietly, is it? It's this grand public ceremony. We have the breakdown here. It cost 1.46 million Solaris just to bring the Imperial Herald and 3 guild navigators.
Right, and you just don't spend that kind of money on simple paperwork.
No.
You spend that kind of money when you're making a statement. The Emperor wasn't giving a gift. He was showing Duke Leto and everyone else who held the keys.
So forcing Leto to pay that fee.
It's a power move. It says, even you are subservient to me. It frames the entire thing not as an honor, but as the first step in a trap designed to bankrupt and destroy them.
It looks like an honor, but it's a political death sentence.
A classic move. Hide the knife in plain sight.
Okay, let's pivot to the person at the center of this, Paul Atreides. Because he's not just a duke's son, is he?
Not at all. His mother, Lady Jessica, is a Bene Gesserit.
Right, the ancient all-female order that's been pulling political strings for centuries.
And they had very specific orders for her. She was supposed to bear only daughters for their breeding program, but out of love for the Duke, maybe pride, she defied them. She had a son.
And in doing so, she was trying to create the Kwisatz Haderach.
That was the Bene Gesserit's ultimate goal, to produce a male mind that could see everything, to bridge space and time, past and future, a consciousness that could see where their own reverend mothers could not.
So Paul is basically raised as this secret weapon. Jessica trains him in the way.
The mental and physical control, and of course, the voice.
That ability to command people, just by changing your inflection. We even see him trying it out, sort of clumsily on a glass of water. He's powerful, but very raw.
And the Order knows he exists. They can't just let this variable run loose, which is why the Reverend Mother Deus Helen Mohim shows up.
The Emperor's own truthsayer.
And she comes to perform the Gom Jabbar test.
This scene is so tense. A poison needle to his neck, and his hand in a box that causes just unimaginable pain.
And the point isn't really the pain itself, it's a test of humanity. She tells him an animal would just act on instinct, pull its hand out, but a human can control that impulse.
If he pulls his hand out, the needle kills him instantly.
Exactly. She says, if you had been unable to control your impulses, we could not let you live. You inherit too much power. They fear an untamed Kwisatz Haderach more than anything.
And even before all this, before they even leave for Arrakis, Paul is already having these dreams, these visions.
Yeah, he's seeing Arrakis, seeing the Fremen, and disturbingly, he sees his mentor, Duncan Idaho, lying dead in battle.
That vision is so key, isn't it? It's what makes him push his father to let him face real danger.
He's not just passively seeing the future, he's trying to find a way to navigate it, to change it. That's the first real sign of his potential manifesting.
So they get to Arrakis, and Duke Leto isn't naive. He knows it's a trap.
He knows his popularity threatens the Emperor, so he comes up with a counter-strategy, and it's brilliant.
He doesn't want to just mine the spice like the Harkonnens.
No, he says that would make them no better than Harkonnens. He's seeking desert power, an alliance with the native Fremen.
And Duncan Idaho's scouting mission basically proves this is the only way. The official imperial estimate for the Fremen population is what, 50,000?
Wildly wrong. Duncan finds out there are millions. Millions living in these massive underground communities, sieges,
Some holding 10,000 people.
and they are fierce. Better fighters than anyone in the Imperium, including the Emperor's own Sardaukar. That's the real power on Arrakis.
They don't even get a chance to use it. The trap springs almost immediately.
Yeah, the assassination attempt on Paul, that hunter-seeker drone.
Sent by an agent who was literally cemented inside the walls.
Yeah.
It just shows how compromised they are from the very beginning.
And this confirms all of Leto's fears. He confronts Jessica, tells her he knows the Emperor sent them there to die, and he asks her to protect Paul, not as his mother, but as the Bene Gesserit.
He's telling her to be ruthless.
To use all her training. But the deepest betrayal comes from inside their own circle, from Dr. Ye.
The Sook Doctor, who should be impossible to break because of his imperial conditioning.
But the Baron Harkonnen found a way. He tortured Yu's wife Wana and used the promise of her freedom to break him. It's just a devastatingly personal lever to pull.
So US lowers the shields, jams the comms. He basically hands them over.
In a last-ditch effort, he gives the Duke a poison gas tooth, hoping he can take the Baron with him, but the betrayal is total.
And once they're forced out into the desert, the whole game changes. Survival is everything.
Suddenly you have to worry about sandworms, the Shai Hulud, they're drawn to any rhythmic noise.
So just walking normally gets you killed.
Right, and that's where the Fremen tech becomes so vital. The still suit, for instance.
An incredible piece of engineering. It reclaims all your body's moisture. You lose only a thimbleful of water a day.
Which is why water is more valuable than spice to the Fremen. Their entire culture is built around that scarcity.
And it forces them to learn the sand walk, that irregular rhythm to cross the desert safely. They even learn their own tech is a liability. A shield generator.
Is a death sentence. It drives the worms into a frenzy. All the technology that kept them safe on their homeworld is now what will get them killed on Arrakis.
It's a total inversion of their power.
Completely.
Let's talk about Paul's transformation. Before the final betrayal, we see that moment where he and Leto rescue the Spice Crawler crew.
Yeah, the Harkonnens sabotaged their ride home. And that rescue, that one act of, true nobility, it exposes Paul to a massive cloud of raw spice.
And that's the catalyst.
It is. It violently spikes his prescience. And it leads to the most horrifying vision he's had yet.
Not a victory. Galactic horror.
He sees a holy war spreading across the universe like unquenchable fire. And it's led by fanatics worshiping at his father's skull.
And shouting his name.
That's the moment he understands. His destiny isn't to be a hero, it's to be the figurehead for a galaxy-spanning jihad.
And he just lashes out at his mother, calling her a freak for creating him. The weight of it is just too much.
And this vision happens right before the final attack. Paul and Jessica flee, but only because Duncan sacrifices himself to hold off the Sardaukar.
They escape into a Coriolis storm with help from a very unlikely source, Dr. Lead Kynes.
The Imperial ecologist, who is supposed to be neutral, a part of the Emperor system. But at the last moment, she reveals her true allegiance.
I'm Fremen. It's such a powerful moment.
It is. But surviving the storm just throws them into a new kind of danger. They encounter Stilgar and his Fremen warriors.
And they are immediately seen as weak, as outworlders whose water should just be taken for the tribe.
Right. And a warrior named Jameis invokes the Amatal.
The challenge to the death.
It's more than a duel. Stilgar warns him there is no yielding. Only death is the test of it. Paul, who has never killed anyone, has to fight for his mother's life and his own.
And he wins. He uses his Bene Gesserit training, his fighting skills, and he kills Jameis. And that single act of violence changes everything. He's no longer a liability. He has proven his strength and earned his place. Stilgar says it plainly, "You're one of us now." He is no longer an exiled duke's son. He's a desert warrior. But Jessica still wants to leave, to get off-world, rally the great houses.
But it's too late for that. Paul has seen his path. He tells her, "My road leads into the desert. I can see it." He's choosing Arrakis. He's choosing desert power.
So let's wrap this up. What does it all mean? Paul survives this incredibly complex political trap by becoming something else entirely.
That's the key. He survives because his Bene Gesserit training intersects perfectly with the Fremen prophecy of the Lisan al-Gab, their messiah from the outer world.
So the Bene Gesserit laid the groundwork for their Kwisatz Haderach.
But their missionaries also seeded the planet with the prophecy that would give him sanctuary. His fate was, in a way, pre-wired by his mother's order. He just had to step into the role.
He had to kill. He had to shed his old identity and embrace this brutal new world to survive.
And here's the final terrible irony. By choosing desert power, by embracing the Lisan al-Gaib prophecy, he guarantees his immediate survival. But that choice also guarantees the horrible future he saw in his vision.
The Holy War.
The fanatical Holy War is now inevitable because of the choice he made to survive. His path to power is paved with the future he fears the most.
So his survival means a galaxy-wide war is coming. The only question now is, will he control that fire, or will it consume him and everyone else? That's the real crucible he's just stepped into.